Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga, and it has finally ended the game week 4 match or like team reaction the FPL 23-24 season. I'm pleased to announce that this was a good week for me. It was a really good green window, a green arrow on the top, some good points. I almost made it to the top of 100k as well, in the top 100k, 90k before the games at the end of it like turned around. And of course Arsenal doing the damage mostly for the point scoring. But then more or less I'm pretty happy with the way the game week went. It's a neat, and I'm just going to quickly react before I get into the game week 5, which is after the international break, so we don't really need to make transfers as quickly as we need to. It's not this weekend. The next games actually start in 2 weeks' time. The deadline is 16th of September, 12 noon, because of the early kickoff at 1:30 with Liverpool, Wolves and Liverpool. And the game and a lot of good games in that in that weekend as well. But then just to kind of go over the team, I'll just quickly share and we will start with this. So this is how this was the points. Basically, the good thing was, I had 81 points in total, which kind of helped me to understand how or where my strategy was. I had definitely did jump on. So 81 points in total in the game week for 178k top. So top 200, not that bad. I think I was off by 100k by 4 or 5 points in the end, but I'm happy with the way it kind of has settled. Hat tricks all galore. I had luckily one of those hat trick men, Erling Haaland, scoring a hat trick against a good display against Fulham, scoring 3. The good thing was with the double City attack, I could bounce on with Alvarez points as well, who scored a mighty 14. Of course, it would have been better if I had Ferguson, who had another kind of wow, what a game he has had. So that was interesting. But then I think that my majority of points came from these two boys. And if you had Evan Ferguson or Heung-min Son, great. Like, I don't know if there was any team, and has there been any FPL team which has had all three, like Erling Haaland, Evan Ferguson, and Heung-min Son? That would have been a massive haul in this weekend. But that's kind of luckily I was not the one. I had a better. I was happy with what I got from Erling Haaland's 40 points. It would have been amazing to triple captain him though. But 40 points, Alvarez 14. I think I was happy with that. In the mid, it was a little difference. The changes that I had made was like I got Sterling in for Mitoma, which I think backfired for me by 5 points, because Mitoma by a couple of points, because Mitoma had an assist. He did not score, so that was a good thing in a game where Evan Ferguson shined completely with 3-1. Mitoma had 1 assist, and most of the points were Gilmore and Ferguson with the bonus points. So that was a good thing. But Sterling, I have no idea how he did not finish, how he did not get it, because his XG on that game was assist and everything. I don't know. I don't understand how he missed that. How Nicholas Jackson missed that goal, which Sterling assisted, and even Sterling himself. How could he miss the goal that he? It was a pretty clear chance. But then Nottingham Forest winning against Chelsea to kind of win the game. So that's sometimes, it is one of those games where it happens, and then you just have to move with it. And one thing that you can understand is like that was the second clean sheet of the whole weekend. There was only 2 clean sheets in this weekend. One was Alice and the other was Matt Turner. Can you imagine that? Like, people having Matt Turner and having playing them against Chelsea. That's a ballsy move, and those moves should be rewarded with the points that they got. In the middle, Bruno and Saka, in my mind, were like, somebody has to perform better. Saka, I think, was pretty well defended against by Dalot in that game, and Bruno never kind of. And I think Bruno plays too emotionally, in my opinion, for a captain and for Manchester United. Of course, the debacle of Manchester versus Arsenal, where Arsenal eventually came back to win 3-1. You can check out my video regarding the match reaction earlier that I did after the game. But the game was pretty much well poised for a great Arsenal win after, with goals from Jesus, Odegaard, Rice scoring, Saka. I think there is something with Saka receiving yellow cards. I don't like people getting yellow cards for fun, and I think it's sometimes like he's attracting yellow cards. He does attract being tackled a lot, but then why is he attracting yellow cards as well? That's kind of weird in my opinion. Something that we should kind of keep a watch. Bruno is one of those, but the Bruno did not get a yellow card the whole game. So I think even how hard he was bickering at the ref to kind of give a yellow on the others, he did not receive any. And Buemo, I think, was the savior because he scored the late goal in like 90th minute. For it was like a very late goal where he gets the goal, which equalized against Bournemouth. And he saved a little bit for me in the midfield. Otherwise, it would have been a complete disaster. With Diaby of Aston Villa, I think this game was killed by Liverpool, and like Salah is coming back. So like Salah has been scoring a lot of points. Like if you look at his game weeks, he has been scoring points. Like he has already scored 23 in the last four. And the XG is high, the minutes played is high. So it's one of those things where you want, because you're not looking for a premium. So how do you get, what do you get in the middle? Do you get Salah now? Because if you look at Salah's fixtures as well, just to kind of go on that a little deeper, if you look at Salah's fixtures, they're not that bad. The whole run after the international break is pretty good. Wolves, West Ham, Spurs, Brighton. But then Salah can score. But then also you can see the fact that Salah might not score. Like he has not been consistent with scoring. At least that's there is no doubt in that. He has been consistent with points, but the goals scored is he's only scored 2 goals in the last four. So there's a lot. And when Szoboszlai kind of scoring the goal, that was like weird. Alexander-Arnold captain's armband after Virgil van Dijk's red card. Looked confident, but I'm still not trusting the Liverpool defense, even after they had their first clean sheet of the match with Alisson. Good saves from him as well, and that's why he gets the bonus point. So you can see like they've not been able. Uh, they've conceded in the last three. This is the first game that they did not, which was interesting to me. So, but then I'm keeping away from ours from Liverpool for now. My mids didn't give me that much, and it was very strange or very sad to lose points of Estopinian and Pedro Porro with the last minute. Like Pedro Porro, like a Tottenham conceding in 90 plus fifth minute. I was like, come on, guys, this is not, and they're winning five. Like, of course, they conceded early, but then why did they have to concede another one against Brownhill with two? Because Estepinian had already given assist as well on that for a goal. For Pedro Porro had given an assist, and that's what I was hoping for. But then again, conceding a goal that's kind of ended the 6-point haul that we had. Of same with Estepinian. Estepinian was like he was playing really, really well. He had 6 points, and then in the 90th minute or like 90 plus 6th minute, Wilson scores a goal. So these late goals are just kind of killing the defensive play in my mind. And then Chilwell as well. Like he's playing left back. He's playing left mid, and he's not even the crosses and the points, but like the points route is pretty weird in my mind. But of course, they have one more game, Bournemouth, to play in my mind. I think that's an away game, but I'm expecting that he will be able to perform because Chelsea need a comeback, or Chelsea need to kind of show that they are still in this fight and want to win the game. So overall, 81 points on the bench. Of course, I had not expected Onana or Saliba to get points, but then Saliba scored more than Chilwell. So, who am I to kind of predict? Would have been different if Saliba had scored a goal and I had him on my bench. But then Onana, I expected that he's getting yellows for fun as well. Like time wasting is something that he needs to kind of get acclimatized to with the new Premier League rules. As Joao Pedro, it could have been him, right? If Evan Ferguson and Joao Pedro both starting, It could have been him who had scored the hat trick, but that's like, I was so happy like at the end of it. Like, it was not Joao Pedro who was scoring these 3 goals and he was on my bench. It was Evan Ferguson who indeed did not. And Saliba, as I said, the defensive issues, but then he has the attacking returns as well, so he might be the one to keep and hold. And Kobore, Luton did not do as well as everybody expected, but then did give West Ham some fight. And that's the whole overall 81 points. So currently thinking about, the good thing is that we have 2 weeks. The international break will happen, and then we'll see how these kind of games come back, or like how players come back and what squad. So it'll be a really interesting thing to kind of see who's injured, who's playing where, and how things are kind of shaping up for the game week 5. At this moment, I will hold all these players for now. If I look at my team right now quickly, I'm going to play Saliba, Pedro Porro, and Chilwell, Sterling, Bruno, Saka, Mbuemo, Diaby, and the City boys in front. I moved Estepunian away from the defense to my bench along with Joao Pedro, because I think it could be a different thing. I might change or sub later, but then currently Onana on goal, Brighton for Manchester United, and Ardiola on the bench after Manchester City. Kabore is still on the bench, so I think I'm going to keep this team till I hear more. Current team value is not bad, but I am hoping to get more points from my midfield and banking more on Sterling to get me the points. This is how the current game week looks like. 2 green arrows. That's not a bad start. In the top 200k. That's good to kind of get good momentum, kind of keep with that and try to kind of build on it. It can obviously change drastically after the international break, which is going to happen. But then you hope for the best, and you cross your T's and hope that everything kind of falls for you. How did your game week go? What happened with your game week? How did your selections pan out eventually? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have thoughts on my existing team, or like thoughts of how I am playing the game, do let me know in the comment section. Do like this video, do share, and do subscribe to the channel. I've realized like 1,000 people are watching these videos and only 10% of other subscribed viewers. I would really request you to kind of increase the subscription, hit the subscribe button down there with the bell icon, and do send a comment or do DM us on Instagram as well. I can reply on that one as well. Hope you had a nice game week 4. Game week 5 deadline is 16th of September, so you have some time before you have to make a change. Don't forget, there is no Premier League this weekend. There's an international break. Hope no players get injured and everybody comes back healthy, and we have a great Formula 1, great Premier League weekend, game week 5. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Do like this video, do share, and do subscribe, and I catch you in the next one.